Imagine walking into a park filled with wonders from around the world. You see buildings shaped like castles, pavilions with strange inventions, and crowds of people speaking different languages. Music plays from far-off corners, and the air smells of warm bread, flowers, and machine oil. As you look up, a giant tower made of iron stretches into the sky. This was the scene at the World's Fair in Paris in 1889, a grand celebration of art, science, and progress. The 1889 World's Fair, also known as the Exposition Universelle, was held in Paris, France, to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution. People from all over the world came to see new inventions, beautiful art, and ideas from many countries. The fair was a way for nations to show off their best achievements and imagine what the future could be like. The fair took place in the Champ de Mars, a large open area near the Seine River in Paris. It lasted from May 6th to October 31st, 1889. Over 32 million people visited the fair, including artists, inventors, leaders, and regular families. They came to explore over 60 acres of exhibits and displays that stretched across the city. At a time when there were no televisions or internet, the World's Fair was the best way to see the newest and most exciting ideas from around the globe. The star of the fair and the most talked about structure was the Eiffel Tower. At the time, it was the tallest man-made structure in the world, standing at 984 feet. It was designed by an engineer named Gustave Eiffel, and many people were amazed by it. Others didn't like it at first. Some artists and citizens thought it was ugly and didn't belong in Paris. But when it was finished, the Eiffel Tower quickly became a symbol of the fair and of modern progress. People lined up to climb its stairs or ride its elevator to the top. From there they could see all of Paris and the grand fairgrounds below. The Eiffel Tower was made of iron, and it was built in just over 2 years. It showed what new materials and construction methods could do. It was not just a work of art, it was a symbol of engineering and innovation. Many people who saw it were inspired to think differently about buildings, machines, and what humans could achieve. The fair wasn't just about the Eiffel Tower, though. Inside the fairgrounds were hundreds of pavilions, each representing a different country or theme. Visitors could walk through buildings made in the styles of Egypt, China, or Morocco. They could see clothing, food, tools, and artwork from all over the world. It was like taking a trip around the globe in one day. The French pavilion showed off some of the country's finest inventions and art. There were engines that ran on steam, early versions of cars, and even machines that could make ice or light up a room. Electricity was one of the most exciting things at the fair. Whole sections of the fairgrounds were lit up at night with electric lights, which was still very new at the time. For many visitors, it was their first time seeing electric power in action. One of the most popular areas was the Palais des Machines, or Palace of Machines. It was a massive building filled with new inventions. People saw engines that pumped water, ran factories, and helped build railroads. Some of the inventions on display would go on to shape the modern world. Typewriters, elevators, and even early bicycles caught people's attention. Children and adults alike marveled at machines that could do what once seemed impossible. Music and art were also a big part of the fair. Composers held concerts, painters showed off their work, and writers gave readings. Visitors could listen to music from different countries and see the latest fashions and styles. There were theaters with plays and dances, food stands selling treats from around the world, and gardens full of colorful flowers. Another major theme of the 1889 fair was showing the power and strength of nations. Countries competed to show who had the best technology, the most modern cities, and the brightest future. But the fair also showed how people were more connected than ever. Railroads, telegraphs, and steamships had made it easier for people to travel and share ideas. The World's Fair gave people a sense that the world was growing closer. The fair also had its share of controversy. Some exhibits showed people from colonized parts of the world in a way that was not respectful. These human zoos were meant to show how different life was in places like Africa or Asia, but today we understand that they were unfair and wrong. They remind us that even events meant to celebrate progress can also reflect the problems of their time. Still, the 1889 World's Fair left a powerful legacy. It helped launch the Eiffel Tower as a permanent symbol of Paris and of human achievement. It brought attention to new inventions and helped spread ideas that would shape the 20th century. Many people left the fair feeling excited about the future and hopeful for what was possible. For the city of Paris, the fair was a great success. It brought in visitors from around the world and showed that France was still a leader in art, science, and culture. Other cities and countries saw what Paris had done and wanted to host their own world fairs. Over time, World's Fairs continued to be held in cities around the globe, each one trying to outdo the last in beauty, invention, and imagination. The 1889 World's Fair in Paris was more than just a big event. It was a celebration of the past, a showcase of the present, and a doorway to the future. People came from many different places, spoke many different languages, and had many different dreams. But at the fair, they shared something in common, a belief that the world was changing and that anything was possible. And as they stood beneath the Eiffel Tower, looking up at its shining frame against the sky, many of them believed they were seeing the beginning of a new age.